think there's almost like laissez-faire attitude to social and creator that actually discredits the strategic thinking that goes into the work. Before you work with an influencer, like, are their audience the right audience? Are they brand safe? Is this brief going to actually give us like a return on investment for what we're spending? And can we leverage them across email? Like, there's so much that goes into good work. If I was a shitty social media marketer and influencer, I'd be like, yeah, I'll get a post up tomorrow and like maybe it'll be ass.
Hello, I'm Brianna Doe, and this is Stop the Scroll. So let's get into the content that makes us stop, click, and care. Okay, so if you are not familiar with Gabriel Gomez already, you should be. You're living under a rock. Parasocial at MCOBeauty, leading social influencer and community strategy. And also, candidly, Gabriel is just one of my favorite LinkedIn creators. Fun fact, it has taken us approximately 19 years to actually sit down and record this. So I am thrilled that we're finally here. And one thing that I think is so interesting about you, Gabriel, and I'll actually let you talk, is you, one, are one of the coolest people I think I've ever met. I think that personality just like comes through online. And you said something interesting earlier, like I have everybody fill out a form before the episode, and you mentioned that you don't want to talk about best practices as, you know, social influencers. And I love that. I actually don't want to talk to Gabriel from MCOBeauty. I would love to talk to Gabriel, the consumer, who happens to work on the brand side. So if you're cool with that, I think we just start there.
I love that. Let's do it. And you know how to butter me up, just saying all these sweet things. I'm so excited to be here on Stop the Scroll.
Thank you. I'm pumped. Okay, so first things first, when you scroll on your own time, like not for work, but just for fun, what is the version of the internet that you actually enjoy?
Wow. I mean, I think as a consumer, like I have different moods and then go to like different internets for like that mood. So at the end of a long day, I love to just scroll funny TikToks. Give me like, I don't know, people falling down a hill or something like that. As long as you're not getting hurt, we don't laugh at that. But comedic relief is like so important. And I think especially for a marketer, when we're scrolling, most of the time we're actually like also reacting and like absorbing as marketers. So I love a little bit of brain rot for me personally to just like, I don't have to think about work while I'm scrolling. Because I think a lot of marketers tend to do that. Even when I'm scrolling through LinkedIn, I'm like, oh, this is a great topic I want to talk about, or this is a interesting format that I should do as well. It's hard to shut it off.
How do you shut it off?
You
for
don't.
yourself?
I mean,
Okay, I figured.
it's so difficult. Really, the only times is when I'm on vacation and I'm like away from the city or from the office or even at home, because at home, like I think about my own content creator business. My partner, he creates content on the side. He works in marketing. Like we talk about it. It's hard to escape it. And so you have to, personally, I have to just give myself the permission to do it. Otherwise, it's like not going to happen on its own, which maybe makes me a little sick, but is the truth.
I think to work in social, you have to be a little
Yeah.
quirky and eclectic, as am I. So
Yes.
I support it. Does your partner work in social too, or a different
He does
facet of
B2B,
marketing?
like B2B social and comm. So similar but different, but you know, similar enough that we talk shop all the time. So
I love that.
yeah,
My husband works in auto insurance, so we
very different.
don't talk shop. He tries to, but
You're like, well, you're like, oh,
I don't know what that is. Is there a piece of content that you've seen lately that like made you actually stop and it really stuck with you? Could be funny, it could be serious.
Wow, that's a great. This is like so bad. I mean, I could give a few examples actually. One I'm seeing a lot right now. This is like, I don't know how helpful this is to any of the folks listening at home, but it is the truth. There is that like one fish from SpongeBob who is actually, I don't know if she was like a insurance agent actually, but she is coming and knocking on Squidward's door, like sell him something. And she's like in the episode for 10 seconds, but TikTok has actually started to make fan edits of this fish and it's everywhere. And they're actually putting like Charlie's new single, like it's actually become a cultural thing, and it's 10 to 15 seconds and it gets me every time. It's just like captivating because who is this fish and why is she being made a fan, like why is she a cultural phenomenon right now?
Why is she so iconic? That's actually so interesting. Fan edits are fascinating to me because people make fan edits about just about anything, and I eat all of them up.
Yes, 100%. Well, yeah, I mean fan edits are huge, and it's interesting, like brands haven't tapped into like fan edit culture quite yet, but I'm sure it will happen soon. I think that's going to be a huge unlock for brands and for creators. Like, imagine if someone made a fan edit of you.
I would love that. Anybody, feel free. Well, I don't know if you were a Gilmore Girls fan ever or if you are currently.
In
Okay.
spirit, in spirit.
All right, that's fine.
But
I'll
like,
take it.
I,
Well,
yeah,
no, not a
no,
fan.
I never
Okay.
watched it actually. So like, I could be converted
Okay.
easily.
Okay, so we should work on that. But
Yeah.
there's a character from seasons one and two, I believe, named Tristan, played by Chad Michael Murray. And Hulu or like NBC, somebody like that, actually posted a fan edit of him from Gilmore Girls on TikTok. And it was the first branded fan edit I'd ever seen.
There you go. And was it doing crazy? I mean, you saw it as you were organically scrolling.
Organically scrolling, and it was
Wow.
doing good numbers, and people were like flabbergasted that it was a brand. And I think to your point, why aren't more brands doing that? It was funny, it was engaging, everybody loved it.
You just need like splice some footage together. There are also like fan edit farms. You could literally hire this out. If you are a brand that doesn't have an in-house fan editor, which I'm not sure many do, they're out there. Another stop the scroll moment for me actually has also been the Weather Channel. And the Weather Channel on TikTok is doing an incredible job right now. They aren't fan editing per se, but it's like I feel like when I watch the Weather Channel on TikTok, I'm like being entertained and informed.
They actually do a great job of that. I think the other end of the spectrum are all the national parks.
Yes. Well, I actually worked with one of the national park people for one of the brands I work with, New by Nature. We asked one of the national park accounts to do a giveaway with us, and we were doing a giveaway with a hot lumberjack. And so he made a fan.
Thorin Bradley?
Yes, Thorne Bradley. Yes, that was us. So Thorne Bradley
That's
took his shirt
amazing.
off, he cut some wood, and we're like, we're doing a giveaway. And the National Parks Channel like actually kind of did a bit of a fan edit of that and kind of did numbers. So
Okay, first of all, slay. Also, that's incredible. I remember that. The Thorin
yeah,
Bradley stuff is all over my TikTok. And I specifically remember that giveaway too. Great job.
you guys, marketing works.
It worked.
Marketing
It
like just
literally
worked. Yeah, that's crazy.
just now.
Just now.
Yeah. Is there a type of content that you think is slowly going away, but people haven't noticed it yet?
Oh, that's a great question. I've been reading this a lot and not seeing it as much, but I think it's catching on. It's like the death of the millennial brand. And once upon a time, I think people wanted you to land on a grid, LOL, and it look and feel a certain way. And it was like really cohesive, really polished. But now I actually think a lot of brands are moving away from that. So I think it's more of death of an era. But that era comes with a lot of formats that we're used to seeing a lot in like a few years ago. But if you even take a brand like Loewe, who I think in the millennial era, like 10 years ago, would probably be like a prime poster child of like, you go on the Loewe page and they're like beautiful bags and beautiful shoes and whatever. They're saying a lifestyle. But now that's like dead. Loewe's got some girl twerking on their TikTok page with their sandals on.
I did not see this. Do you think
Yes.
it's working?
I mean, it's getting millions of views. So
Okay.
it's getting attention.
Yeah. Which
It's
isn't a bad thing.
not a bad thing. No.
Do you think brands are, I don't want to lead the witness with this question. Do you think brands are starting to veer too much into the unhinged?
I had a blog post about this on my Substack. I forgot what it was called, which is so bad because I've only had eight. I've only had eight Substacks, and I totally forgot what the headline was
That's a
called.
lot. Also, if you're not following Gabriel on Substack, you should be. I
Yes.
love every single article.
Listen to Stop the Scroll and then go on Substack and subscribe to make it make sense. But I talked with Sarah Whittle about this very thing. We were like, are brands trying to be too entertaining? Like, is there such a thing? And I think unhinged entertaining, like, they're not completely synonymous, but I think when a lot of brand folks or marketers think about entertainment, they go to unhinged territory. And I think it's kind of just like old news. I sort of think the brands that are doing unhinged now were trying to probably do unhinged 5 years ago, and it finally just got approved by somebody.
Legal finally signed off on it.
Like literally, yeah, you could like put a wig on our product and post it on. So like, okay. So I think it's a little too late.
No, I hear you. Well, I think your Weather Channel example is a good one. You said you were entertained and You felt informed. I think that's a hard balance, and I don't know how you feel about it, but when I think about the entertaining content that's old news, I also think about the comment sections where it just feels like every brand is talking to me like I'm their bestie, like their bestie girly pop. It's like, I don't know, you're like a vacuum company.
Dyson?
Like,
Is that you?
Dyson?
Like,
Ariana?
wait,
What are you doing here?
Dyson just said, "Be careful, it's gonna vacuum up my what?" I mean,
Do you see what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know. I feel like I struggle with it sometimes. I think it works really well with some brands,
yes,
but
I
to your
think.
point, maybe it's just old news.
Well, I think what tends to happen, a brand sees something like shiny object in marketing that's working, then you get like all these other brands sort of doing it for the sake of the culture almost, and not like I'd sooner Dyson show up in the comments when like find all the messiest TikTokers and that is your thing versus like why are you on the Weather Channel? And no shade to Dyson. I actually don't I don't know if Dyson's doing this.
I don't even
I'm just like
know.
making this up.
Good
But
example, though.
I don't need like a vacuum cleaning company to show up on the Weather Channel TikTok and be like, I'm soaking up that wet with the vacuum. Like, you know, it doesn't make any sense.
Right. That's a good point, though. Going to, like, the messiest TikTokers account. That's actually like a flawless.
Yeah.
Dyson, if you're listening,
Almost like I should
hire
work in
Gabriel.
social media or something.
Have you considered it? Have you considered working in marketing?
I think about it and then I don't
Right.
because I'm
Because
tired.
you want to keep
Yeah.
feeling joy.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay. Complete subject switch, which is going to happen a lot. Sorry in advance. Parasocial relationships. I feel like creators are really, really skilled at this, at building this with their audiences. And I feel like, kind of similar to our conversation about unhinged, entertaining, all of that, I think brands are really trying to like borrow that kind of intimacy. Do you see that? And do you think it's possible?
It's a great question. I mean, the only reason why parasocial relationships work is because they're with like people. I think it'll only work if a brand has a face. I can't build a parasocial relationship with a burger, like a cheeseburger. I mean, I could try, but probably not. I just think there are some things that brands don't need to do just because it's talked about or working, but it could be interesting if a brand like all of a sudden Flow. I love Flo. I've seen her on the TV for 10 years and I'm like, oh my God, Flo. I saw her on a commercial the other day and I'm like, she's so old now. No shade to Flo, but I'm like, oh my gosh, she's like
Whoa.
Flo, like I love her and I've been seeing her for years. I'm like, parasocial relationship. But that worked in that moment. So I think there are ways to do it. I think it's a bit difficult and it's a big investment as well. It's years in the making, right? Like Hailey Bieber and Rode. We've been following Hailey Bieber since she was a teen. And now she owns $1 billion, very successful skincare brand. But it's years in the making.
Do you think the face of the brand would have to be somebody that could it be an influencer, or does it have to be somebody that's like a part of the company? Alex Earl keeps coming to mind. If she was the face of a company, do you think you could build a parasocial relationship with her and connect her to the brand?
Maybe. I think it's really difficult because I think we've seen some of that already. Like every celebrity, or it feels like every big influencer and celebrity already has a brand or is like building a brand. And I think that's actually like working against it's a bit of like fatigue. We did a recent study that was like there's fatigue on beauty trends. People are tired of keeping up with trends and they're like, oh, another thing I have to buy that's like $50. Like actually, I'm tired. And so is my wallet. So this is more anecdotal, but it could be really interesting to test this with a person. What's like the best reflection of your audience in a person and like build a group of people that you can like kind of test that with? Because I think if you bring in another influencer celebrity, you'll kind of be met with like the sentiment is like, oh, another brand by a celebrity.
Yeah, or just like another brand partnership. So I think it
Yeah.
did work really well with Flo. How do you think it went with Jake at State Farm?
I love Jake, and you know, State Farm also does a lot in the gaming space. They do this like gamerhood thing every year on YouTube where they get a bunch of streamers and they just game, and Jake is hosting,
Oh, that's cool. So I
which is
think they're doing
cool.
a good job.
I think so. I think
Okay.
so.
Okay,
I
I
mean,
love it.
I'm just gonna say that and just be like, yeah, whatever. He is.
Yeah, they're doing great. When you think about how people engage or behave online, what is a question that you've been sitting with about it? Like something that doesn't make sense to you about online engagement?
Oh my God, how they behave online. I think it's interesting. People online like feel like they could say anything. You wouldn't say this to anyone in real life, but why are you saying it on like online? I think a product of like social media, but it's like you see the craziest things in the comment section that people would just like never say in real life.
That's a great point. So I'm going to share something a little vulnerable. I love Sims. That's not the vulnerable part. But when I was a kid, I played Sims even more than I do now, like obsessive amounts. And it actually got to a point when I was around 10, I started realizing that I would stare at people in public because I'd forget that they could see me. Like I just was so used to like being on a screen, I forgot that people were actually like engaging. It was really bad. My mom made me take a break from Sims. But I think it's really interesting with what you're saying. I think we're separated by this screen and people just lose, I don't want to say any sense of decorum, but it's like they forget, they're desensitized to like people's
Yes,
actual
yes,
reactions.
yes,
I think
100%.
especially after COVID.
Listen, I'm not gonna comment on Amy Schumer's Instagram post if I don't know her. It's almost like,
Right.
what? I don't have anything to say to Amy Schumer.
So you aren't engaging on like celebrity content, celebrity
I'll like
posts? Are
drop,
you not that kind of person?
I'll drop a share, I'll drop a heart, but as a commenter, and this is just like me as a consumer now, but like I'm not like commenting because I'm like, I don't feel like connection necessarily. I'm more likely to comment on someone I like, oh, my friend got engaged. Smash the comment, like smash the like, but Amy Schumer on the red carpet, I'm kind of like, okay, like you look good, moving on.
I have nothing to say to you. I think
Yeah.
you and I are very similar in that sense. I do think that's rare. I'm judging by how many comments are on like Michael B. Jordan's last post,
Maybe I should drop a
you
comment on
know?
Michael B. Jordan's
I
post though.
mean, I don't know. Maybe it's time.
Fire heart
That's maybe an
emoji.
outlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiss emoji. Yeah.
Are there any people that you feel parasocial about, like any celebrities?
Yeah. Well, not celebrities, but I spend a lot of time watching streamers on Twitch and YouTube. And I feel like I know them. And I
Do
don't. And
you?
I'm sick in the head. I'm like, oh, like I know like one of the YouTubers I watch, like her sister just had a baby. Your sister had a baby. Why do I know that? Why do I care? You know what I mean? It's kind of like a
Yeah.
stranger on the internet had a baby, but I spend so much time watching them that it like means something. I'm excited. I'm like, oh yay, this is like great. It makes you want to be more involved in their lives than you actually are. Like this poor streamer doesn't know I'm talking about her sister's baby right now. Like, that's a little weird.
But is it though? Because she also shared about her sister's baby. Like I think that's such an interesting
Yeah.
conversation. I'm so fascinated by the parasocial relationships because the parasocial element comes from somewhere. Like what you're connecting with is a direct result of what they're choosing to share with you with the objective of forming a connection with you. So I actually don't think you're sick in the head. I think you're operating exactly the way.
Like the brainwashing is working, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Which I listen, I totally get. But again, it's easier to form a connection with a person than a brand like selling you something. You know what I mean? Like ultimately, well, I guess these girlies are wanting you to subscribe and also give them money, but different than Wendy's selling me a burger.
Ooh, but why does it feel different?
I guess like, the removal of the brand layer, like you're a person. I can support a person, like versus like I'm supporting a huge corporation.
It
Just like
does feel
feels
different.
different. Yeah.
I wrote an article on parasocial relationships for the Stop the Scroll newsletter like a couple months ago, and I was doing research on it. I don't know about you, but when I think about parasocial relationships, I always think about it like in our time, like modern time, like since social media became a big thing.
Yeah.
But one of the research articles that I read in a medical journal came out in 1956, and it was about the parasocial relationships. It's when they coined the term, and it's when they were talking about TV hosts and game show hosts and how they generate connections with their audiences.
Wow.
And those are like the original parasocial connections. And I just thought
Wow.
that was so interesting. Yeah, and then that got me thinking, because first I was blown away by the date that it came out in the 50s. And I started thinking about everything else around then, like Elvis, Sidney Poitier, like Princess Diana in the 90s, all these people
Yeah.
that society was forming these connections with before social. So it's really not new, which is, I don't know what you think, but I just think that's fascinating.
That's really interesting. And yes, I mean, so true. I mean, like musicians, like, entertain, like, yeah, like celebrities, TV show hosts, to your point, like, I guess like they are all parasocial people. Now the dynamic has just changed. Now, like the relationship is with the people on our phone.
And it's probably even more, when was Elvis? Like the 60s or whatever. I couldn't get on my phone, get on YouTube in 1968
No,
and pull up a video that Elvis posted on YouTube that was like a get ready with me. Now you can
imagine.
carry the streamer essentially in your pocket
100%.
and they can carry you in their pocket. You're with them at all times. I think
Yeah.
those relationships have deepened a
Imagine
lot.
like Elvis alive now posting a Get Ready With Me for a concert. That would go crazy.
That would go
That'd go
so viral.
crazy. Yeah, that would go crazy.
But yeah, no, I just think it's really interesting. Who are some of your favorite streamers?
Ludwig, who's a huge, at one point was the most followed Twitch streamer ever on Twitch. And then, yeah, he's one of them. I don't really watch Mr. Beast, but, you know, he's a freak low key as well with some of
He
his
is
stuff.
freak.
But love that he has made it to where he is. Valky Ray's another big streamer that I watch. And they were actually all working with State Farm. They're all like kind of
Oh,
like the State Farm and like their gamerhood segment. So it's interesting. And I was watching them before I even knew State Farm was doing this. So that's another good example of like marketing working. But yeah, those are just to name a few. So
just a quick sidebar on the Mr. Beast thing. I think of Mr. Beast the same way I think of Arby's. I don't know anybody who eats at Arby's, but yet I see them on every corner. I've never met anybody who watches Mr. Beast.
I feel like, oh my God, if Mr. Beach is listening to this, I feel like my career would probably end. I don't know. I'm so sorry, Mr. B.
This is all a joke.
Yeah, it's like actually, like I have watched one of your videos.
I watch every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, obsessively.
I actually I was super proud of him because he had published that video from like 10 years ago where he was like, hey, 10-year older me, I'm gonna be a rich YouTuber. And like I effing love that.
He did it.
And he effing did
Yeah.
it. And it was amazing. But I actually think he has a more like kid, like younger audience is what I think. So maybe ask your niece when you go to the aquarium if she knows Mr. B.
Okay, what is a corner of the internet that you live on, love, whatever, that has nothing to do with your job, but has somehow changed the way you think about your job?
Oh my gosh, that's really existential. Does LinkedIn count? That's kind of a corner.
Yeah.
I think like
it.
that is, I mean, I just did a post about like LinkedIn changing my life, which when I was writing it, I felt like really dramatic, but people like really actually resonated with it. Like, there's so many people commenting like, this is great. Like, I want to start posting content, but like it feels so scary. And for a long time, I was a marketer doing marketing for brands and not for myself. And I feel like that was just a big shift for me personally. I felt so much more empowered creatively. A picture of me like getting an ice cream cone, I could post it on LinkedIn. It would probably do better than some of the brand posts that I have seen. So it's just crazy.
I love that. How long have you been posting?
5 years now.
5 years? That's amazing.
I know. That's another reason why I'm sick in the head. But yeah. But it's like been very rewarding. It's like to the folks listening at home, it's been really rewarding and I've loved it. And don't feel pressure. I don't want people to feel pressure just because I feel like social media marketers already have so much pressure put on them by everyone else in the organization. And your mental health relies on the likes you get. It's not healthy. But if you're ever feeling inspired and want to start, like start today or start tomorrow. Before I started posting, I was like, I should build a strategy. Ew. But then I just started posting. I just like on the train one day, I was like, I'm going to post this like meme on LinkedIn and maybe LinkedIn CEO will like ban me from LinkedIn for posting this, but like whatever. And like people loved it. And it was just like human and normal, you know, it's just like a human thing to see and post about. And yeah, it worked.
I love that though. And I think you make a really good point. As somebody who also works in social and influencer marketing, every single piece of content that I've ever put out for a brand has been reviewed and approved by somebody, usually multiple somebodies. And it does feel really freeing. Since the beginning, it's felt freeing to not have a strategy. This is the one place where I can just exist.
And
like,
it's okay.
Without a social calendar. It's okay.
Yeah, and it's like
cool.
If it doesn't work, maybe I think about it, but you know.
Yeah, maybe I have a strategy.
Yeah, like think about it a little bit, but like, you don't have to like be like, I need to like refine this and make sure like it hits my KPIs, you know.
Right. And what will legal think? Spoiler, there is no legal. So live it up. I love it. Anything that you wish somebody that doesn't work in social or influencers knew about your job that they don't?
Wow, that's a great question. I actually would say when I speak to other folks from other teams, they always refer or they speak about social and influencer as it's like an easy thing. It's like you can get a post up, you can call the influencer. Sure, let me call
her up.
I will call them right now and just get it up. Like, I don't know that I think there's almost like laissez-faire attitude to social and creator that actually discredits the strategic thinking that goes into the work. Before you work with an influencer, like, are their audience the right audience? Are they brand safe? Is this brief going to actually give us like a return on investment for what we're spending? And can we leverage them across email? Like, there's so much that goes in. into good work. If I was a shitty social media marketer and influencer, I'd be like, yeah, I'll get a post up tomorrow and like maybe it'll be ass. But like, what? It's not overly complicated by any means, but it's also not that overly simple if you want to do like good work that will potentially stop the scroll and get a conversion or like your audience care. So that's like one thing. I'm not going up to my sales team and being like, make this money.
Try it though. Let me know
Oh
how it
yeah, I'll
goes
try.
over.
Like, oh, call the CEO of this retailer
Right.
and get
Just
us
close the deal.
Just close the deal.
No, I love that. And I think the longer somebody works in marketing, especially social, the easier it looks because you start to develop like common sense. Like, you just know in your gut if something's going to work, you know it's not going to work, and that is, it looks deceptively easy. So I just love that you said that. I couldn't agree more. Okay, where can people find you, follow you, learn more about you?
Oh my God. Well,
Hang out with
I
you.
actually think you can only find me here at Stop the Scroll. I live here
Actually,
now.
yes.
Yeah.
He does. Gabriel is
Yeah.
coming on for every episode. from now on.
Yay. Imagine I'm just like, hey,
That would
just
actually be
hanging
so
out.
fun.
Surprise guest. But you can find me on LinkedIn. That's the only place I am.
Well,
you
and
guys.
Substack.
And Substack.
The
Yeah. So
Substack is incredible.
yeah, Substack, make it make sense. Can give it a read, give it a follow if you so wish. And on LinkedIn, I think if you just search Gabriel Gomez, hopefully I come up. I don't know.
Fingers crossed. We'll put all of your links in the
Yeah.
show notes. Thank you so much for joining me. This was hilarious and amazing.
Thank you for having me, and cheers to Stop the Scroll. Hope many more episodes to come.
Thank you. If you enjoyed this episode, hit subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And for more on what's shaping the definition and demand around the content we consume, sign up for the newsletter. Link in the show notes too. And I'll see you in the feed.